Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube live stream, Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always my pleasure to be here. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation. This is where it all started for VV Nation, right here on Trending Thursday, and now it's becoming a much more popular name. Would definitely love for you guys to put hashtag VVNation on your social media. Actually, on your social media, put the link to this live stream. Let the people in your circle know what you're doing to hopefully make money in the market so that they can get a piece of it too. You never know. You might help the next person make some money in the market, and they'll thank you. So put that out there. Also, I want you to probably put out hashtag keep your eye on the MTI. That's something else. Let people ask you, what does that mean? And then you can tell them what VectorVest tells you about the stock market and that the market is looking toppy and all of that thing. So I'm loving that all of the VV Nations are coming across the screen here. Everyone can see everybody else's chat. Someone said nice, the beat that Joey put up. I guess everybody was getting tired with mine. Joey did put up a good beat. I liked it. So the premiere of what was going on. All right. So a couple of things I want to get out of the way before we get started. One, don't forget we have our Tampa 2-day seminar coming up January 8th and 9th. If you haven't already subscribed to it or signed up for it, go to www.vectorvest.com/Tampa, and you can register for our 2-day seminar. It's going to be taking place at our training center here in North Carolina. We were going to be live and live streaming, but we are only doing the live stream at this time. If you don't want to miss this, you want to learn anything you want to know about VectorVest, whether you're a retirement-minded individual or a trader, this is a good place to learn a lot about the VectorVest software. We are still offering a special for the software, 99 cents to YouTubers, 99 cents for 30 days to get access to the VectorVest software. If you're brand new, please subscribe to the channel. All right, that helps us to grow the channel. All right, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you like the content today as we go along, don't forget and don't be afraid to hit or smash the like button. That's a good way to say it, Joey. Smash the like button. Talking to Joey on my right-hand side. He's riding side saddle with me. He is my producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. He's the guy that's in the background making sure that everything is good to go. So again, thank you all for being here. We're going to get right into it. So Trending Thursday is all about stocks making the news. And we always start off with a market overview. What's going on in the market? Because no matter what, you need to know, is the market bullish? Is it bearish? Is it neutral? Is it toppy? Is it bottoming? All of those things need to come to your mind as to what's going on to be able to better make decisions in the market. So we're going to start off with our homepage and looking at our market overview. We start off there. This is the homepage of the VectorVest software. This is where all the magic begins. All right. As you open up the software, we say that it reads like the front page of your local newspaper, where market timing is always the headline story. And right now, our market timing gauge is all the way fully pegged in the green. Our guidance is the color guard is bullish. We do advocate buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. We can go over to our quick list of all of the indices, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and our VectorVest composite are all in the green today. All of the major indices are hot and up. Well, not really hot, but they are up. Why? Because there's news. The news that's driving the market higher and higher and higher to all-time highs is the news on the vaccine and news on stimulus that's hopefully due to come out soon. That's where the bulls are deriving their power, their energy, and that's what's pushing the market higher and higher and higher. We keep getting closer to an idea that a stimulus package is going to come up. Hey, we're close. Oh, we didn't quite get there. Hey, we're close. Hey, we didn't quite get there. At some point in time, I think Christmas present for everybody should be stimulus. All right? People need money. We're looking at unemployment still going higher now. The story came out this morning that more and more people are filing for unemployment. They're not working. What are they supposed to do? To get money because businesses are closing and laying off people? They're applying for unemployment. So the market looked like it was trying to open up. Well, the economy looked like it was trying to open up. And now it looks like because of the spread of COVID again, that more and more businesses are going back through the shutdowns again. So this is a time where we do need stimulus to help our American people. So as I look at this homepage, that's what's going on. Our color guard, which represents 3 colors of a traffic light, we've got more yellow than anything. Even though it's okay to buy stocks, as a VectorVest perspective, we're letting you know to still be cautious. We have an indicator right here called the MTI, which looks at the underlying trend of the market, and currently the MTI is at a level of 1.68 on a scale cast between 0 and 2. When this indicator, the underlying trend of the market, gets above the value of 1.5 to 1.6, the market is at a level where it's looking for a top. The market has been toppy now for about a month. All right, and you always know what goes up must come down. At some point in time, the market's going to pull back. So from a market timing perspective, that's what's going on. It's okay to still buy stocks as long as the market is moving higher. Be careful due to all of the yellow lights in the color guard. And that's it in a nutshell. How do you manage your existing positions? Tighten stops. Before you go and buy into a new position, make sure the stock is rising on a rising day, number one. And number two, a lot of the trades you put on right now will be trades. They will not be longer term holds or swing trades right now. Not right now while the market's looking toppy. All right, so with that being said, let's get into the news that's moving the market. Let's move over into, let's just do it this way. If I do it this way, it comes up there, then it comes up here. Here's the first news. All right, the U.S., whoops, that's not what I want. We'll get to that. Yeah, I'm not ready to get to that yet. The December Fed meeting, which was yesterday, was set to focus on asset purchases, and the Fed and the Treasury were split over renewed emergency lending programs, which is interesting. This is Mnuchin, who's the Treasury Secretary, and of course Powell, who is the Fed chairman. And you know, you don't want them to be at odds with each other. They're supposed to be working in tandem to help the economy. The Fed's job is to make sure that jobs are in place and that interest rates are kept at a level needed for the economy to thrive. And then the Treasury is all about the spending of the money. Put those together, that helps to make up what should be done to keep America afloat. All right, so during the Senate Banking Committee hearing in early December, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell disagreed on Mnuchin's decision to allow emergency Federal Reserve lending programs to expire. All right, so these people in way of trying to spur and keep the economy going are a little bit at odds. But you know something, it is what it is. We're going to let it play out. And I like the stern looks on both faces as you look at the story. But keeping that in mind, the Fed has already decided that they're going to keep rates still low. Even if the outlook gets better, they're still going to keep rates low. Why? Because as we start to raise rates, we got a lot of debt. When it comes time to pay back that debt, if we have higher rates, that's a lot of money to have to pay back. But that is a story for another time. My next story is still dealing with the economy. Vaccine boosts the Fed's confidence that the worst case outcomes can be avoided. So as the vaccine is coming into play, yes, more and more vaccines are starting to get available to the frontline workers, and I think to older people like Joey will start getting the vaccine. You going to get the vaccination? Joey says he's not going to get it. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn on it. My wife's a respiratory therapist, so she's going to be one of those in North Carolina who will have an opportunity to get the vaccine as well. The choice is hers of what she wants to do. But if the vaccine is coming out, the Fed could feel a little bit more confident in its philosophies, its ideologies, its policies on what it wants to do. So as you scroll down, Federal Reserve officials have something new to talk about at their policy meeting this week. The good news is the COVID-19 vaccination. States and localities are imposing new restrictions on dining and other activities. Claims for unemployment benefits are rising, and the jobless rate fell in November for the wrong reasons. More workers stop seeking jobs. But the emergency authorization by the U.S. FDA, FDA of coronavirus vaccine developed by Pfizer with BioNTech, plus a second candidate from Moderna, and behind that, I believe, will be Johnson & Johnson or AstraZeneca will probably be the third one. Also under review is a potential economic game changer. See that? Economic game changer because it could reduce the uncertainty of households and businesses and policymakers. So with the onset of the vaccine, even the policymakers, and that's what the story is all about, can feel a little bit more confident in regards to what's going on in the economy. And then let's go switch gears a little bit to the deal on the $900 billion COVID relief bill could come this morning. That was yesterday, all right? And they were pushing, and it didn't happen yesterday. Negotiators in Washington are close to an agreement on $900 billion COVID. The bill would leave out the sticking points for both sides, the GOP demand for liability protection and the Democrat demand for state and local aid. You know, I do have an issue with all of the money that's going out. It should be going out to the small businesses. The last time the relief went out, a lot of big businesses took the money. That they didn't need to. They could leave it for the smaller businesses that need the money to keep them from closing. That's just my extra 2 cents on that. The stimulus talks this week are adding ammo for the bulls, and that's what's helping to make the market run. Remember, I said the two things about what's making the market run is the vaccine and hopes for a stimulus, according to the Charts technical analyst Hale Stewart writes today. So these are the things that are moving the markets, especially in our markets overall. Keeping all of that in mind, let's go back into the software. So,
Hey, move your almanac over here.
Move my almanac? Oh, is that better? You're welcome, Joey. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir? Okay, Joey's just being Joey. Let's get back into the software. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. Hold on. Where's the one I wanted? Oh, I don't know.
It was that you were on it. Go all the way around.
All the way around?
Next.
Next.
One more.
That one?
Attaboy.
All right, so from here, let's get into our watch list of stocks. So we know what the market is doing. We know what are the things that are moving the market. The two indicators that I utilize in our Trending Thursdays in our watch list for today are looking at the SPY, the S&P 500, and our indicator, the VectorVest Composite, the VVC. All right, here are the two indicators that we look at for tracking the market. The SPY for you non-VectorVest subscribers is a way of looking at the S&P 500. And for those who are VectorVest subscribers, we look at the VVC. Now, notice that the MTI, which can only be seen in the VectorVest software on the VectorVest Composite, the MTI, again, is at the level of where the market's looking for a top. Look what the market's doing. The S&P 500 still hitting all-time highs. I've got a close price here yesterday where the market closed, or the S&P closed. It gapped up today. A little bit of an indecision. That's called a doji, where the opening and close price are very close to each other. Today's open price on the spiders was at 371.94. Right now, it's at 372.05. About a 10.95, 105. Yeah, it's about a 11 cent rise overall for the day. That's it. So a little bit of indecision going into the latter part of the day, but the market overall is still hitting higher highs. Then we could put the relative timing, which looks at the short-term price trend of a stock, or in this case, the indice, is still in an uptrend but pulling back off of highs. The market, folks, is at a level of being high. That doesn't mean panic and sell all your stocks. It means to be vigilant and to be cautious in what you're doing. Let's take a look at the VectorVest Composite. Notice that the candle for that is a little different. Why? That S&P that we were looking at tracks 500 stocks, whereas this VVC tracks the movement of over 8,400 stocks. we always feel that it is a better representation of broad market movement. So again, the VVC can only be found in the VectorVest software. Nice open candle today, but look at the volume. Look at the volume overall as the market's moving higher. It's slowly but surely decreasing. Less people are being active on the move of 8,400 stocks. That's another sign that the market is looking toppy. It's getting tired. It's getting tired. So if nothing else, folks, manage your positions. Don't get blindsided, because all it's looking for now is a catalyst to move down. It really, really is. This has been long in the tooth. Nice bounce off a level of support on the composite at $49.25. We're looking at the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages. Good level of looking at a trend in the market. Keep that in mind. This is not a time to go full bore, all in on stocks. Just be careful. All right, so that's my story on the market overview. What do you do now? Again, tighten stops. If you're getting into new positions, just be careful. All right, any questions, Joey, before I move on to the next story?
Yeah, I got a couple here.
Okay, Joey's got some questions for me. I like when Joey's got questions for me.
I had to go back. Are there any Glenisms for any of the Fed speak?
Are there any Glenisms for the Fed speak? Yeah, they're doing a whole bunch of cautiosity. They're very cautious in what's going on in the market. This just an indicator, and they're going to keep their interest rates at super low-osity prices. All right, super low-osity and cautiosity. Put those two together. That's pretty much to analyze what the Fed speak is right now.
John says econopoliticism.
Econopolicy. If I can't say it, I can't put it in a Glenism. Joey's having a hard time saying.
Reynaldo Lara asked, do we have access to the software?
The question is, do you have access to the software for 99 cents? If you are a YouTuber, we are giving you a special price. 99 cents gives you access to the VectorVest software for 30 days. So everything that I'm showing, you can have access to for 99 cents for 30 days. And after that, you can make a decision whether or not you want to keep a subscription to the VectorVest software. Any other questions, Joey?
John asked, how does this compare to other Decembers?
How does this compare to many other Decembers? Normally, it is John, yeah? Mm-hmm. Normally, we get what we call the Santa Claus rally going into the end of the year. The big telltale sign is going to be what's going to start happening in January and February. The coronavirus is hit. I'm thinking that with the onset of a vaccine, we're going to have a little bit more of a positive outlook going into 2021, but only time will tell. All right, but we always get, this is what you would call a Santa Claus rally, except for this year. I think that the Santa Claus rally should be called the Stimucine rally, the stimulus and the vaccine rally. That's the Stimucine rally. I like that, yeah? Stimucine rally, more so than the Santa Claus rally. Any other questions? All right. So those are good questions. Let's get out of this graph. Let's get into the next story. Go down below. Let's get into the next story. So this is interesting. Most American public may get vaccine by the end of February. So now we're getting into our coronavirus stories. Always got to talk about coronavirus, right? But a good story here. Most of American public may get vaccine by the end of February. So John's question was, how does this relate out to other Decembers? Again, we normally get a rally going into the year. 2018, we didn't though. We got a downward push from October to December and then took off in January. But this one, and this is also an election year. The Santa Claus rallies usually are not as strong in an election year than all of the other years, all right, just in general. But I think that this is fruitful or hopeful in regards to stemming the tide for the coronavirus. A time frame in which most Americans will be eligible for coronavirus keeps moving up. All right, so they're really trying to push the idea of getting the coronavirus vaccine out. Just 2 weeks ago, Dr. Monsef Slough, head of Operation Warp Speed, said the U.S. could immunize 1/3 of its population within 3 months. That's a lot of folks. All right. but it now looks like most America could get a vaccine by that date. I've done a story where CVS and Walgreens are going to be proponents of going down there to get the shot. All right, to go get the shot. So just keeping on what's going on, depending on decisions by our governors. But I believe we'll have enough supply out there to be reaching out to the general public for administration at there it is, CVS, Walgreens, Kroger's, by the end of February into March. Now, there's another side of this. All right, so that's great that the vaccine is out there. But we look at Pfizer. This is all still part of the same segment of COVID-19. Pfizer-BioNTech report additional data. I think that's important because with Operation Warp Speed, drugs were put out at a fast pace to get them out to the American people. So Pfizer, they've got more additional studies, announced additional data on neutralizing the antibody and T cells from the phase 1/2 trial of BNT 162b2 conducted in Germany. And this has always been my issue with the coronavirus vaccine. Analysis of 37 participants immunized with that number showed a broad immune response with the SARS-CoV-2 specific neutralizing antibodies. All these numbers, I don't want to read it. And almost 92% of the participants demonstrated strong expansion of CD8 plus T cells of early effector memory phenotype. Look at the number of people. Okay, that's always been my issue, is the number of people that are being tested to get these drugs out to the American public. But the FDA has put them out there that it's safe to be able to do so. Now, there's either another side of that. Pfizer was downgraded. Now, I've had a story. Somebody on YouTube posted that they put a lot of money behind Pfizer after we did the story on Pfizer. But Pfizer went down. I've got another person that says, why is Pfizer going down? And this is a story in regards to why that's going on right now. With it being the leading drug for the COVID-19 vaccine, why is it going down? Now, RBC Capital downgraded Pfizer because of the competitive headwinds. What competitive headwinds? Well, we got other drugs besides Pfizer that's out there, but you would think with Pfizer leading the pack, that people would be jumping on board with the stock. Noting the substantial opportunity of 2022 and beyond for the company's COVID-19 vaccine, far from clear. Interesting. RBC Capital Markets downgrades Pfizer to sector perform from outperform with a price target of 42. All right. Last week, the company made headlines when its COVID vaccine candidate developed with BioNTech became the first to win the emergency use authorization in the U.S. And that should have been the driving factor to push Pfizer even higher. Despite the approval, the analysts led by Randall Stanicky argue a bull case vaccine scenario so largely in the stock ahead of competitive vaccine updates, possibly with superior dosing logistics. However, the analysts keep the core 2021E, 25E biopharma vaccine revenue and EPS, unchanged, noting any upward revision should come from the pipeline. Now, rival vaccine candidate from Moderna is set to undergo an expert panel. This was done yesterday as well. And leading to an EAU nod later this week. Unlike Pfizer-BioNTech shot, Moderna's jab, based on similar technology with a comparable efficacy level, does not require rigorous ultra cold. So Pfizer needs really cold temperatures. Moderna doesn't need nearly as cold. And then when Johnson & Johnson comes out with theirs is going to be able to pretty much be put into a refrigerator. So as the drugs come out, it looks like some of the other drugs maybe have the heads up on the previous drugs. So Moderna will have a little heads up on Pfizer, whereas Johnson & Johnson may have a little heads up on Moderna. Keeping all of that in perspective, RBS Capital downgraded Pfizer. Hopefully that answers the question as to why Pfizer is going down. But Pfizer is the drug at the forefront making the moves. Now, wait a minute. Talking about competition, here's another drug out there, CureVac. commences global mid-stage trial for COVID-19 vaccine candidate. That's another drug out there, unlike like AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, now CureVac and Moderna and Pfizer. There's a lot of competition out there. CureVac has enrolled the first participant in its pivotal phase of 2B/3 study of its mRNA vaccine candidate, that number. The trial Herald will assess the safety and efficacy of that number in adults of 12. I don't know what that is. It just looks like ugh to me. Somebody in the room will tell me what that means. And is expected to include more. Now, this is interesting. 35,000 participants. That's a lot more than some of these other drugs that are already out there now, right? At sites in Europe, Latin America, subjects 18 years of age or older will receive a 2-dose schedule. So that's another thing. Pfizer, I think, is either a 2 or 3 dose. Moderna is going to be a 2 dose. And I believe Johnson & Johnson may be a 1 or 2 dose. I'm thinking a lot of these have that 1 or 2, at least that 2-dose deal. All right. Besides the primary safety objective, the study design includes 2 primary efficacy objectives: the demonstration of the efficacy of that number in preventing first episodes of confirmed cases of COVID-19 of any severity, as well as preventing moderate to severe confirmed cases of COVID-19 in patients who have never been affected. So it looks like as the drugs keep rolling out, they just seem to be getting better and better and better. And again, Pfizer is feeling the ill effect behind that. Talking about competition as well, Moderna. Oh, I just closed out of the Moderna story. How did I do that, Joey? I did that accidentally. Can I?
You can't hit the back button.
I can't hit the back button? Gosh darn it. Hold on. Where's my Moderna? I'm mad now.
Here, you just continue on.
All right, Joey's going to find my Moderna story. Moderna's out there. Now, there was something that talked about in Moderna and Pfizer. There is a little bit of backlash that's happening already. Some people are getting some kind of palsy behind it. What's the name of it? It's not cerebral palsy. It's another palsy. Moderna. It's a Moderna story. There it is. All right, so Moderna is nearing authorization. This ain't the story yet, but that's all right. Moderna nears authorization for COVID-19 shot with the FDA staff endorsement. So this was more on the... Huh? Bell's palsy. So this is more in line with the competition that's out there. And here's the last story on COVID-19. FDA staff recommends watching for Bell's palsy in Moderna and Pfizer vaccine recipients. So far, I think there's only been 4 cases that came out with people who have had Bell's palsy, but I don't think that we're going to fully understand some of the ramifications of these drugs until later down the line. All right, so I'm just putting that out there as a story. I think that 4 people have been, here it is, said that there was 4 reported cases of Bell's palsy among Moderna's 30,000 trial participants. So we were just looking at the CureVac, which was looking at 35,000 participants, and Moderna did 30,000, and 4 people came up with it. However, currently available information is insufficient to determine a causal relationship with the vaccine. All right, so just keeping that in mind, I want you to be well informed all the way around in regards to the COVID-19 vaccine. All right, so let's go look at those stocks that we have. And for those of you who are new, we have a watch list of stocks and that we look at every week. And the wonderful thing that I want you to look at for this is that these stocks are automatically sorted by our master indicator, VST, which looks at relative value, relative safety, and relative timing, all cast on a scale between 0 and 2. The stocks that have the best combination of these 3 will migrate to the top of the list. So this is a stock that we'll talk about in a minute, is at the top of the list. There's Moderna. Moderna is the 3rd best stock by VST in the list. What else am I looking at? There's that other stock that CVAC is in here. And I should be looking at Pfizer. Look at where Pfizer falls. With that downgrade, look how far down the list by our master indicator Pfizer goes to. All right, let's go take a look at these 3 stocks. Let's right-click. Let's view them on a stock graph. All right, so let's start off with Moderna. All right, Moderna is going to be following Pfizer, but look at that, sitting in a bit of a channel right now of a low or a level of support sitting at about 129.39 and a level of resistance at 178.77. Notice that I'm going to take off the 3 and the 8 and put on a 20 exponential moving average. It is still clearly, even with the pullback, above the 20-day exponential moving average, but look at that, bouncing right off of it with today's activity. Nice open candle. The volume is pretty steady. If I'm looking to get into Moderna, is it too late now? Well, with the news, I'm going to say the answer to that is no. But I would wait for the stock to get above that level of 178. Or if I pull the trigger now, all right, make sure you're buying into it if the stock is rising. If I pull the trigger now at about 144 or so, I've got a profit target sitting at 178. I'd rather you play it that way. Play the retracement as the stock is pulled back off of its high. It's starting to bounce back up again. Make sure you buy higher than today's high. All right, and if you do, as it's rising, that's going to be your profit target sitting at about 178. You can have a good opportunity to make some money as these stocks are still making the news. CVAC, this is that other stock that's coming out, going to put their drug out there. Nicely was moving up above the 20-day exponential moving average, fell back even with the open candle today, still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Watch relative timing. The stock is losing momentum. And not only that, as the stock is pulling back, the bearish volume is picking up as well. Be careful with that. The stock has made the news. If I'm going to get into it, I can get into it now. I'd rather wait to see if it can break above this high, but if I don't want to wait that long, make sure you buy into it on a good rising day. That should be your profit target sitting about the high of 151. You've got some room to make some money on this stock as long as it bounces off of that level of the 20-day moving average and rises. All right, and Pfizer with the downgrade, that hurt it. All right, the stock is pulling back. A lot of people have asked me what's going on with Pfizer. We now know that it's been downgraded, it's pulled back. And I think, again, that as these other stocks come out with their vaccines, Pfizer will be more aptly hurt. But that's a little bit of something called a hammer formation. Could be a possible reversal. I'd look to see tomorrow if the stock's price can rise. If it can, could I pull the trigger then as long as it's rising? The answer to that is yes. I also have two levels of resistance to get through here, a level of 38.17 it's got to get through, and then a level of 38.94. I would really like to see it get past both of those levels of resistance, get above that level of the 20-day exponential moving average, then pull the trigger, and then use the high of 43.08 as a level of egress or get out. All right, so those are my three stocks in the coronavirus space. Do we have any questions, Joey? No questions? Wow, nobody's got a question about these kind of stocks? You know something? I'm going to say that these people out there are doing a good job. But you know what these companies are looking to do? Ring the cash register, absolutely. They're looking to ring the cash register, absolutely. So be careful with the Pfizer trade. Moderna or CVAC might be better plays, or you know that we do have a watch list of coronavirus stocks. Let's go to...
please comment on the best use of stops for long-term investing.
The comment on the best use of stops for long-term investing, depending on how long-term is. A stop is your line in the sand, no matter what stop you use. If I'm a longer-term investor, maybe I want to give a stock no more than 20% down to get me out. If I'm a trader, maybe I'm going to use a trailing stop of 5 to 7% to take the profit quick and get out of the stock. If I'm a middle-of-the-road or a swing trader, maybe I use a 20-day exponential moving average. Folks, there's a lot of different ways to utilize stops to get out. The question is a loaded question because everybody in the room trades a little differently. All right, so all I did was give just a little baseline as to how to use stops, but it all depends on how aggressive or conservative you are. What four sectors should we look to invest during a pullback? Josh, if you do not have VectorVest, I won't answer that question because I have the capability of telling you what sectors or what industries are rising right now. And if you want that information for 99 cents, you can get a trial to the software. Real quick, Josh, to do that, I go to the Unisearch tool. I can do a delta searches on sectors, and I can look at the last 10 days, which sectors have gone up the most by price. I can run that. All right, I can run that, and I can tell you what sectors are running. I don't want to give away that information to the people who do have VectorVest, or don't have VectorVest. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back on that a little bit. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to say that over the last 10 days, what sectors have gone up the most. I'm going to show you the top one. I'm going to show you that one for free. To look at the top sector, energy. It's gone up 9.98% in the last 2 weeks. Now, if you want to get what the top 10, what the top 20 are, all you do now is go to the 10-day price delta for sectors. Change that number to reflect what. So if you want to know what the top 4 are, Josh, that's how you do it. All right, Josh, that's how you do it right there. And at any point in time, you can find out what the top sectors are, no matter what time of the day it is. When does the December sell-off happen? I don't know that there's a specific time when that happens. Right now, as I mentioned, we're in what we would call the Santa Claus rally going into the end of the year. But again, I think that with the advent of coronavirus vaccines, we're probably going to still be looking into the market moving higher, even going into January. All right, so we looked at the stocks already on the graph. All right, so now let's go. If there's no other questions, let's move to our next story, the marijuana story. So let's talk about some marijuana stocks. This was big news in marijuana. Aphria and Tilray to merge, creating a near $4 billion market cap cannabis player. That's huge. All right, under the terms of the deal, Aphria owners will receive about 0.8 of a share of Tilray for each Aphria share it owns, while Tilray owners will continue to hold their shares. So it looks like Aphria got bought up. It says merge. Looks like they got bought up by Tilray. Aphria will own about 60% of the combined company. Oh, it says Aphria will own about 62% of the combined company at close at about a 23% premium to Tilray's close yesterday. The merged company will still be called Tilray, though, and continue to trade under the ticker symbol of TLRY. All right, so that's a big news in the cannabis industry that possibly under the incoming administration. And I don't want to hear nobody argue with that with me in this room at any point in time. I'm not doing politics in here. I'm just not doing it. All right, so with that anyway, the possible decriminalization of marijuana stocks could go up tremendously this year. All right. Now, that's just two pieces here, Aphria and Tilray. And another one, Aurora Cannabis stocks rally after revising credit facility terms, Aurora Sun facility closure. So they negotiated or reorganized their amount of money. Hold on, where is that at? Aurora said provides a greater financial flexibility. All right, let's read this. The company said it reached an agreement with its lenders, okay, the people that they get money from, to extend the maturity of its credit facility to December 31st of 2022. All right, so they just had to renegotiate the loan, the payback, all of that, and transition the facility to a minimum liquidity covenant from a minimum earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, which is EBITDA covenant, which Aurora said provides it with a greater financial flexibility to execute business transformation plan. As part of that plan, Aurora said it has closed its Aurora Sun facility and cut production at its Aurora Sky facility by 75%, saving them a ton of money. These hard decisions are being taken to improve cash flow and provide agility to our business. So even though the big news coming out with Tilray and Aphria being able to merge. Aurora Cannabis has played a major role in this industry, and they're trying to shore up the money side of it to be able to do what they need to do. All right, so I put those two stories together in regards to in marijuana. You could be getting ready for a boom in marijuana. And let's go take a look at those stocks on my watch list. Let's go back to my viewers. And in my watch list, I have the whole industry. If you want to trade the whole industry without getting into any individual stock, MJ is an ETF for marijuana. I'm going to be looking at Afria. I'm going to be looking at Tilray, and I'm going to be looking at Aurora Cannabis. We can analyze them real quick. Afria trading at $7 with a value of $4, a little bit overvalued. Tilray trading at a price of $9 with a value of $1.21, really overvalued. All right, but these two companies are now merging, and then Aurora Cannabis trading at $9.82 with a value of $7.21. For those of you who are brand new to the software, value is what we feel a stock is currently worth, and we use that for the basis of understanding if a stock is trading above or below its value. Let's look at the fundamentals between Afria. The relative value is below 1. And the relative safety is below 1. The stock is not fundamentally sound. I still think that marijuana is more of a speculative space, just like cryptocurrency. But if the opportunity affords itself to help you to make money, take it by all means. Tilray, our relative value at 0.17, relative safety at 0.51. Again, not fundamentally sound. Aurora Cannabis, 0.74 on relative value, 0.62 on relative safety. Again, all of these stocks are fundamentally not sound. But Afria has got an RT at 1.48. It's above 1. The stock's in an uptrend. Tilray has got a relative timing at 1.55, also in an uptrend. And Aurora Cannabis has got a relative timing at 1.32. All three of these stocks are currently in an uptrend, and the ETF that tracks the whole industry is also in an uptrend. Let's right-click. Let's view the stock graph on all of these. So these are all marijuana stocks put on a 3-month graph. The industry as a whole is moving a tad bit sideways right now. Nice run up as the election was coming to fruition, coming into the election, and now that, anticipation that marijuana was going to be decriminalized, ran up, pulled back a little bit, but still above the 20-day exponential moving average, still giving more of a bullish sign. Let's go look at the individual stocks now. Afria. All right, remember, it just got merged with Tilray, moving sideways right now at a good level, solid level of support at $7.60. But this is the stock that will be traded, still will be Tilray, above the 20-day exponential moving average, sitting in a little bit of a channel as well. Did fall below the 20-day exponential moving average, found a level of support sitting at the value of about $7.10, bounced up, and now traversing a level of resistance at $9.65. If you own it, be careful. The stock gapped up. Looks like it's trying to fade the gap right now. Just be careful with it. The stock's relative timing is above 1, saying the stock's in an uptrend but pulling back right now. Again, be careful with it. If you own it, your line in the sand to possibly get out is at $7.10. If I'm not in it, I'd like to see the stock go back up above the value of $9.65. All right, and the last stock that's in here is ACB, Aurora Cannabis, another stock within the industry moving a tad bit sideways right now, sitting in a little bit of a channel, but still showing signs of above the 20-day exponential moving average. Relative timing is leveled out right now. The stock's still in an uptrend, but pretty much moving sideways. So even with the news of the merger of Tilray and Aurora Cannabis, Tilray and Afria, just be careful in that space. It's still a volatile space, but if it gives you an opportunity to make some money, take the opportunity and go make some money. All right? Any questions? Who benefited better, Tilray or Afria? Sandy, that's a good question. I think that Afria owns a bigger portion, but it still stays under Tilray. I'm not sure who's got the better benefit out of it. I'm going to say Afria since they own more of the merger. That would be my sentiment from the merger. Leonardo says, I have a question. How to exit a hot stock? When you told us the price was above 20 and RT above 1 is a good time to be in the stock. But when the stock gaps up, where is the line in the sand? Always, if a stock gaps, and let me show you right on here, Leonardo, if a stock gaps up, my line in the sand automatically becomes that gap level of where it gapped up. So if I'm looking at a stock, let's say I'm in ACB, the stock is above the 20-day exponential moving average, the stock gaps up, boom, that's my level of getting out. As soon as the price falls below that, guess what? I still get an opportunity to capture profits right there. I still get the opportunity to capture profits. And GRWG is an awesome stock in that space. I'm only talking about the stocks that made the news, but we do have a marijuana list. And actually, you guys do as a subscriber. If you go to healthcare marijuana as an industry and look at the stocks within that industry, you can do the same analysis on all of the stocks to find out which ones are best for you. But I covered just the stocks that were making the news.
Do we have a portfolio we can show them of marijuana stocks?
Do I have I have not made a portfolio of marijuana. I've got a watch list of marijuana stocks.
Clean energy one that we made?
No, I can make one. I think that with the onset of today's activity, I think I will set up a portfolio for marijuana stocks. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Tell you what. So, and this is for the people who are not subscribers. I don't think I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to build a new search, and this is for everybody in the room. All right, stocks, filter by watch list, equal to, and I have a watch list. In our Trending Thursday, I've got a watch list for healthcare marijuana stocks. Boom. There you go. So I'm going to build this search on the fly. All right, what do I want? For all of the stocks that I want to get into, how about this? Capital appreciation. I want RT to be greater than 1. Whew, I'm building this on the fly, folks. What else do I want? I want average volume to be greater than or equal to, let's say 250,000. I want good moving stocks, and I want to sort this list of stocks by which ones are moving up the most. So I'm going to sort this by ROI. Or how about biggest percent price change? That's what I really want. Percent price change. If I run this search now, for those of you who are not subscribers, if I run this search now, I'm going to show you what the top stock is. I could do that. Boom. It happens to be TCNF. All right, $33 stock. Nice move up today. Again, for those of you who are not subscribers, I'm not going to give it all away to you. But I will create a portfolio. My portfolios, let's create a portfolio. And I'm going to call this 00 hottest weed stocks. All right, $100,000 portfolio, no commission. Click on that. And I'm going to set this portfolio up right now. Build your own trading system here. I am going to use the primary wave since this is more of an aggressive primary wave. Rules up. Oh, let's go to YouTube. Trending Thursday. No. YouTube. Did I create it already? Oh, hold on. I got to save the search first. Did I not do that? Unit search? Nope, I didn't save it yet. Let's save it. Save as hottest weed stocks. I got to save the search. Hottest weed stocks. Long search, and I'm going to put it into Trending Thursday. I built it. Now it's there. Hottest weed stocks in my Trending Thursday searches. Okay. Now I can go to the portfolio. Hottest weed stocks. Let's set up the portfolio. Build a custom trading system. I'm going to use the primary wave. We're going to be long on the primary wave up. We're going to be in cash on the primary wave down. All right, let's go down to Trending Thursday. There it is, hottest weed stocks. Stop criteria, because this is more of an aggressive trade. I'm going to use Profit Locker Pro. Aggressive.
Can you build a watch list on the cheapest subscription plan?
Can I build a watch? Yeah, I can build a watch list on any subscription plan. I can build a watch list on any subscription plan. On the downside, we're going to go to cash. All right, let's go back to the long real quick. Profit Locker Pro, aggressive, good. I'm going to take 10 stocks. This is going to be a 10-stock portfolio. Let's click on Finish. Let's click on Save. You're not going to be able to see the stocks. All right, that's by design. All right, and it's already buying stocks to put into the portfolio. It's automatically doing it. The portfolio is active, and every week we'll come back and let's see that. So the question came up is, do we have a portfolio? I just created it. And we'll go back and we'll look at it. All right, we'll do that every so often. All right, could you do this, build a watch list on the cheapest? Yeah, I can. Leonardo says, is marijuana industry a speculative industry or long-term investment? Right now, until marijuana is decriminalized, I'm going to say you take it as it comes. And I'm going to let the market dictate whether or not it's long-term or not. I'm not going to. You notice that I put a very aggressive stop on that search. I did that for a reason. All right, this is still all news-driven. Until the decriminalization happens or doesn't happen, I'm still going to say that this is more of a shorter-term trade. A stock has hit, I am. Let me get there. A stock has hit an RT of 1.5, and other stocks have RT of 2. Which is the better one to buy? Look at the graph, Devendra. That's the best way to answer that question. Look at the graphs. The graphs will determine whether or not you want to be in that stock or not. All right, is the stock moving up and is it doing so on volume? That's what you're looking for. RT just tells you if it's an uptrend or not and how fast of an uptrend or not. Price action will delineate if it's okay for you to get in or not. All right, so let me get back into the viewers. Those are my stocks on marijuana. Did we look at the graphs already, Joey? I don't think so. Let's view the stock graph. Let's do that real quick. Or did I? We did look? I thought we did. All right, so we did look. I'm going to leave that alone, and I answered the questions that were out there. And the cool thing is I did build a search in a portfolio that we can keep our eyes on going forward. All right, let's get into the next story. Next story is Bitcoin. All right, cryptocurrencies, still a hot topic, but I'm going to explain. You know something? It's great when I look at YouTube and I look at all of the stories about why you need to buy YouTube. As I accept more people on my social media, I'm looking at a whole bunch of people telling me, hey, do you trade Forex? You should trade Forex. Hey, do you trade Bitcoin? You should trade Bitcoin. Listen, I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. The crypto space is still a speculative play. You can't tell me different. All right, it's still a speculative play. Now, there's a lot of people out there telling you, oh, you got to get into it and you got to buy. I'm going to tell you this. It's running. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's running. Do you have an opportunity to make money? Absolutely. But I am not betting my children's college fund on Bitcoin in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I don't want any of you to do that either. Understand that a lot of the stocks that we talk about in here, many of them are trade stocks. Some of them are swing trades, stocks that you can look at for longer term. But in this particular juncture in the market, I'm not telling any of you to look at any of these stocks for a long-term trade yet, unless you can play options on them. Because when these stocks, there are some good long-term stocks out there. But if you get into them, you need to have an option play like a covered call to protect you as the stock's price goes down. All right? So Bitcoin shatters 20,000 barrier for the first time. That's huge. All right, a lot of news behind it. PayPal is jumping on board with Bitcoin. Square jumping on with Bitcoin. JP Morgan Chase jumping on board with Bitcoin. A lot of big name companies are starting to accept cryptocurrencies as payments. That's what's driving this industry higher. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right? As we start to get into more regulation about it, watch what happens to Bitcoin at that point. Watch it. Once the government gets its hands on regulating Bitcoin, then what? You'll see. All right, so I wanted to show the story that Bitcoin, highest point it's been. Looking at Riot blockchain, brace for impact. Now, this was an opinion story by Delanta de Silva. I want to scroll down. All right. Riot won't be bankrupt, but that's not a reason to buy. Valuation predictions. Hold on. Takeaway. Riot blockchain, as I see it, does not have what it takes to be profitable mining company. The best way to value the company is not to look at Bitcoin prices, but to determine how profitable the company could be at the current price levels. Even if Bitcoin continues to rise, I doubt Riot would ever turn up a profit because of the operating inefficiencies that are visible from the company's earnings. Bingo! What if I like to talk about is looking at a stocks and valuating the stock. We use the VectorVest software to go put value on these stocks and analyze these stocks better than anybody out there. We look to see if the stock is trading above or below its value. We look at relative value, the stock's long-term price appreciation potential. We look at relative safety, the stock's ability to meet or exceed earnings expectations quarter over quarter, year over year. You hear me say a lot of stocks. They may be going up, but they are not fundamentally sound. All right, and I say that time and time again. And Riot and blockchain, even though they're running, both Riot and Mara are running like nobody's business. Is this a sprint or is this a marathon? And that's the question that you've got to answer to yourself. So let's go back into the software. Mara, where does it sit in my list of 15 stocks? Second from the top of the list. That's a beautiful thing. Where does Riot sit? Somewhere in the top third of the list. That's a beautiful thing. Stock is trading. Mara is trading at $9.98. What's the value? $5.06. Remember, when we look at value, we look at things like earnings. We look at earnings per share. We look at earnings growth rate to give us a representation of value. Right now, we value Mara at $5.06. People are trading at a premium to own Mara. Riot, trading at $10.96 with a value of $1.47. Let's look at the fundamentals. Relative value of stocks' upside potential as compared to a AAA corporate bond on a scale between 0 and 2. Mara's got a relative value of 0.88. A AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years should outperform Mara. Riot's got a relative value of 0.42. A AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years should outperform Riot. But these are stocks that everybody's telling you to put all your money in and ride it. These stocks are not fundamentally sound. Relative safety, the stock's ability for consistency and predictability of company's financial performance. Does this company make or exceed their earnings quarter over quarter, year over year? Relative safety, below 1. Relative safety on Riot, below 1. What's the driving factor behind these stocks right now? Relative timing. Both of these stocks are not only in an uptrend, but in a big uptrend. All right. And as these stocks keep rising, their CIs or comfort indexes are both above the value 1. These stocks do go up more than they go down. Earnings per share on Riot. Negative earnings per share, but they grow their earnings at a clip of 16%. I'd like to see that in the positive. For Mara, though, it is in the positive, and they do grow their earnings at a clip of 20% a year. Let's look at these stocks on the graph. And these stocks have been hot. Now, tell me this. Look at that stock's price run. How comfortable are you getting into that stock? How comfortable are you getting into that stock? Gap, bigger gap. What do you think is going to happen? Stock's price should come down. This is more of a speculative play. All right, as quickly as it can go up is as quickly as it goes down. That's on Mara. Let's look at Riot. Nicely, look at these two closed bars. Went up, pull back. Went up, pull back. Both of these stocks, as quickly as they can go up, is as quickly as they go down. I'm not telling anybody in this room to bet the farm on either one of these cryptocurrencies. But when it's moving, take advantage of it. How about this? So I'm going to take this a step further. If I go back to the Unisearch tool, let's do a 2-week delta on industries. When I do that and run it as of today, I'm going to show you what the fastest moving industry is over the last 2 weeks. Cryptos. up 48%. Now, am I going to tell you not to buy into it? Absolutely not. I'm not going to tell you not to buy in it. But if I look at the industry as a whole, the price of the industry is at $2.50. The value in the industry is at 72 cents. The industry is grossly overvalued. The industry's relative value below 1. The industry's relative safety below 1, but the industry's RT is above 1. This is still more of a speculative play, and I don't care what anybody tells you. Let them tell you what they want to tell you. I'm telling you what you need to know with bona fide analysis. I don't care what story you tell me that's out there. Those stories are going to be designed to tell you why you and your mama and your cousin should go buy Bitcoin. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to give you sound guidance on how to manage that trade, even though the trade is going up. That's my goal. Now, I do want to see the comments on this because I know people is going to have what they, people are going to say what they're going to want to say, and that's that. Say again? It's because what?
It's not because.
It's what I said, it's cause. All right, so I want to see digital currency is gaining steam. Maria, I'm with you. I don't deny that. All I want you to know is just be careful in the space. If you can make money on it, do it. 10 days Delta too late for jump in? Nope, I'm not going to say that, Jim. You know why? Watch this. I'm going to go back 1 week. If you said it's too late to get in, that's 1 week ago. Leisure services, but I bet you cryptocurrency was amongst the top leaders in the top 3 to 10. Let's go back 1 week after that, 2 weeks then, crypto stocks. So it's shown up in the leaders, Jim, time and time again over the last month. Is it too late? No, it is not too late, but I want you guys to play it smart. Don't let anybody tell you that it is the holy grail to making money. You're going to see it on YouTube over and over and over again. You come here to get sound guidance, and that's what you're getting right here. Nothing more, nothing less. I am not against it, but I am telling you that it's speculative. David says, and David works here, Bitcoin will skyrocket just like how cash became debit cards. It will be the new way to use money when the dollar devalues and the third party is involved. All right, then if you want to do that now, fine. Or let that come to you. You know me, I'm all about letting the trade come to you. Let the trade come to you. I'm not gonna try to outguess the trade. I am not gonna try to outguess the trade. Let the trade come to you. The trade is a trade, and you trade it like a trade. All right, there you go. That's all I wanted to tell you about that. Let's get to our next story. Woo, that was a good story, but I see that a lot. I see that a lot on YouTube, and now again, folks, you're really getting the rest of the story there. So now let's talk about the dollar. David started talking about the dollar getting devalued. Let's get into the next story, which is some of my stocks of interest. All right, some of my stocks of interest. Look at that. What did I say moves gold? Type it in the room. I want that to come over here for a second. What moves gold? All right, we all know what moves oil. But what moves gold? Type it in the room. All right, type it in the room. Joey's putting it back up for me in a second. There you go. How do you choose a daily boomer stock for tomorrow? Look at the graph. Sashin, look at the graph. I'm going to answer that question the same way no matter how you swing that question to me. Look at the graph. I show you on these graphs what to look for before you buy. All right. Demand is for oil. Dollar is for gold. All right. The dollar is on its worst pace, is on pace for its worst fourth quarter performance in 17 years. That's huge. Now, I'm starting to get a little bit more bullish on gold. I'm going to let the trade come to me. But if the dollar is the driver to gold, if the dollar is getting beat, where's people going to start going? To gold. all right, as the vaccine rolls out, emboldens investors. All right, what else? How about this? The U.S. dollar is getting crushed thanks to the Fed. All right, the U.S. dollar fell sharply, and this story was put out today. The dollar fell sharply versus major currencies Thursday, with bears taking the Federal Reserve's reassurance that it won't be soon tapering its bond purchases. And, the Fed is thinking about buying more bonds, all right, as a green light to sell the currency. The latest blow to the dollar came from the Fed, which vowed not to touch policy, even if the outlook of U.S. economy brightens as it now expects. That's a big statement. So even if the economy gets good, they're leaving interest rates alone. All right. Weakness also reflected rising expectation that Washington lawmakers will finally agree on an economic rescue package that's seen as necessary to shore up a sagging recovery. The longer the government takes to put a stimulus out, the more people are going to get hurt. The economy is going to suffer for it. All right, this economy is going to suffer for it. So I am starting to get a little bit more bullish on gold, but this is a time to get ready. Mark this date down. This is a time to start to get ready with gold. Now with gold, I'm going to show you a different industry that could be rocking and rolling once we get back into the software. All right, now what's these? If gold is one thing that I'm looking at, the other side I'm looking at is going to be oil. All right. Oil rises more than 1% to a 9-month high as the vaccine optimism offsets new lockdowns. Demand. All right. And here was my, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to leave it there. So we're talking about now for this, both gold and oil as possibilities to start to rise. All right. With the lower dollar, that's going to help gold. And with the vaccine, that could actually help oil. So I'm going to close that. And let's just do this. Let's go back into the software. I'm going to show you something else. Let's take this back to today, all right, which is 12/17. I'm going to look at a 10-day price delta on industries again. And let me see if I see what I wanted to see. No, dang it. I'm going to open it up to 5 industries. Yeah, I just did that. Open up to 5 industries. What's the second industry behind cryptos? Mining uranium. I found a stock that I'm very interested in. I couldn't find a news story on it, but I found a story, and this could be the first mining industry to take a look at as gold could start to get bullish. How about jumping on board with that quickly, folks? Mining uranium, the number 2 industry in the 10-day price delta on industries. All right. So let's go back to my watch list. The stocks that I'm looking at right now, LEU, which is in, let me move this over, the mining uranium space. I really couldn't find a story on it, but the stock really caught my attention. It's up 7% today. It's a stock trading at $23 with a value of $27. One of the few stocks in this list that is undervalued. It does have good upside potential with a relative value at 1.2. The relative safety, though, is on the other side. Not as good as I'd like it to be, but the stock has good upside potential and is an undervalued stock. It's moving up right now. It's got an earnings per share of $1.34, growing their earnings at 19% a year. That's a stock that I want you guys to keep your eyes on, number 1. Number 2, the mining uranium space as an industry could be the first mining industry to rise as the dollar starts to weaken. VectorVest is finding that for you right away. All right, right away. All right, and the other stock I'm going to look at is WTI for oil. I'm still not altogether ready for oil. Notice it's the last stock in the list. Let's go take a look at these stocks, view the stock graph, and there it is. LEU, mining uranium. Love that equity curve. Volume is pulling back a little bit, but I love the equity curve, and this could be a space that you guys can pay your attention on right now, mining uranium. As I can see the news coming out about the dollar, looking at the delta on industries to see that mining there is a mining industry moving already, and it's not gold, silver. It actually is mining uranium. Keep your eyes on that. And you know something? If this turns out to be a super duper hot industry, you can say that you heard about it on Trending Thursday using the software to find out what the fastest moving industries were. And the WTI to oil, I'm still not ready yet. Oil started to have a little bit of run. As demand picks up, I think we're going to get a little bit of demand pick up on the heating industry. Because it's going to get, so far, you people up north just got hit with a nor'easter. We got hit with some cold. Joey wears shorts every day. And even he's running outside going, man, it's cold outside. I said, go home and put on some pants. Why don't you put on pants, Joey?
I have clothes on.
But you wear shorts. Why do you wear shorts?
Because it's nice outside.
There you go. I just shut you down. He wears shorts all the time, and I don't know why. It's cold here, and he's wearing shorts. But nonetheless, I think as the heating industry, the demand for heat is going to rise. I think oil may rise, but we'll see. All right, but if I'm looking at it, I'm going to let the trade come to me. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on oil as a whole just quite yet. RT is falling hard on it as well. So last part of this segment is I want to show you some inexpensive stocks to take a look at. BDSI is one of them. ATRS. These are stocks that I've used in a search that I've put together for these kind of low dollar stocks for some of you guys out there. Two stocks to keep your eyes on. I do like this at $3.93. This is ATRS, nicely undervalued. So one of the things that I'm looking for, not only are they cheaper stocks, but that they are undervalued and that they got good upside. BDSI is undervalued and it's got good upside. I'd rather get you into stocks like this now. They're both buy recommendations. Look at this. Both of these stocks growing their earnings at a clip of over 30%. I've got a search that finds these stocks. All right, I've created a search. I showed last week to my subscribers what I've done. It was an offshoot of teeny boppers. All right, lower dollar stocks. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch the video and you can see the changes that I've made to the search. All right, let's take a look at these. These are my inexpensive stocks for you to keep your eyes on. All right, put this on a 3-month graph. A little bit of a pullback today, but BDSI nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is above 1. Stock recently broke through a level of resistance and rose. Down day today. I wouldn't buy it today. And look at that ATRS, a little bit of give back today, but nicely pulling away from that 20-day exponential moving average with good volume. Lower dollar stocks. So I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to go back to my portfolios. I've got here's my hottest wheat stocks. I'm going to let that cook. Let's look at that. It won't be next week. Next week we won't be here because it'll be Christmas Eve. But we will. Oh, man, we're going to be off 2 weeks in a row? Wow, folks, we're going to be off 2 weeks in a row for Christmas and for New Year's. So this is going to be the last time for the year that we're going to be here. And we won't see you until after New Year's, all right? But we're going to let that cook. We've often talked about clean energy. I've got a watch list right under that. Wow. This is a portfolio nicely up. And again, because many of you are not subscribers to the software, I'm not going to show you the stocks, but I will show you the equity curve. And this portfolio has been running since 9/30. Good Lord. I'm pushing almost 3 months, 60%. All right. Clean energy. We've been talking about coronavirus stocks. This has been running since 11/2. 25.84%. Petroleum stocks, what we've been talking about. Notice how jagged this is. A lot more volatile in the petroleum stocks, but altogether up 23%. Our hot stock alerts, a lot of the lower dollar stocks I'm keeping my eyes on. I'm running portfolios on that search as well. All right, up over 8%, a little bit of a pullback, which makes sense as the market's going through its gyrations between moving up and down. And then our trading systems. For those of you who are a little quicker on the draw, S&P 500/RT, these are trading systems that are in the software that you can follow. Trading systems in the software that you can follow. 33% on that trading system. For those of you who are middle of the road, DEW timing signal, 18.4%. Look at that run up. And for those of you who are even a little bit more aggressive, RT kicker combo, 18%. These are all searches. And if I go in the viewers, all right, if you are a subscriber, If you're a subscriber, here's our trading systems viewer. You can see what searches are making money over the last 1 year, year to date. We do the work for you. You want to find a trading system to jump on board with as a subscriber to make money? We do the work for you. Folks, 99 cents gets you all of this information. 99 cents gets you all of this information. All right, so that was the power of the software by looking at our portfolios. Those portfolios are being paper traded, and I'm running them, and we look at them every week. Again, when we come back, we're going to look at the marijuana stocks to see how well it's done or not. All right. All right. Any questions, Joey?
No, they're just talking about the Dolphins.
They're talking because Dave is in the room. Dave, leave these people alone about the Dolphins. Stop, Dave. You know something? I can kick you out of the room. You are a VectorVest person. I can stop taking people's attention away from what's going on. Don't make me tell you again. Because I can yell at you because you are a VectorVest employee. All right, so I'm just telling you, don't talk about all that stuff. Leave that alone. All right, any questions? Sorry, folks, but I got to tell if you leave it to Dave, Dave will talk about the Dolphins all freaking day. And David says I scared him. Listen, I'm trying to tell Dave to leave the Dolphins alone. All right, my bad. I'll stick to stocks. All right, there was no questions about anything else. I just beat up on Dave. Dave, you know I love you. You know I love you. And some of you know Mike is in there as well. This 99-cent rate for the software trial is a gift of gifts for sure. We are paying much more. You're listening to, for those of people who are not subscribers to the software, you're listening to VectorVest subscribers telling you. All right, you're listening to VectorVest subscribers talk to you. Leonardo says, Glenn, I have a question regarding how to exit a hot stock. So I talked to you about that already. All right, I did talk to you about that. Does the subscription allow you to use VectorVest on the mobile and desktop? Yes, it does. If you have a subscription to the software, you have access to the mobile app. The mobile app, you have it right here as well. All right. What's the name of the new Tilray blooper search called? Oh, so here it is in the Unisearch, and only people that'll get benefit out of this is going to be my VectorVest subscribers. Clean Energy Stocks, YouTube, where is it? It's called Teeny Boppers Offshoot. Only changes I made to the search: 2, that the relative value had to be greater than 1, and that the stock recommendation could not be a sell. Everything else is Teeny Boppers. Everything else is the Teeny Boppers search. These are the only 2 changes I made, and that's Cheap Stocks Teeny Boppers Offshoot. All right, so there you go. What are the pros for subscribing? You get the information that I've given to you. We're going to teach you to know when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell. We time the market. Those are the big pros in and of itself. We analyze stocks better than any other company out there for relative value, relative safety, relative timing. I'm going to be able to tell you how the stock is fundamentally sound and going up in price. I'm going to tell you if they grow their earnings at a clip of whatever percent. And our earnings is forecasted. So it's not just a hard number. It will change based on the valuation of the stock. We give you what a value of a stock is. So all of those are the pros of having the software. My Facebook, I'm not giving you my Facebook address, but I will give you my Instagram and Twitter if you look for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. @Glenn Tompkins Jr. on either Instagram or Twitter, you can find me. Are you kidding? What are the pros? 1,000,000. Sandy, tell him. Sandy, tell him. All right, you guys can sit there. A lot of these questions that come up from non-subscribers, I'm going to let my subscribers tell you. I'm going to let my subscribers tell you what you need to know. All right, Michael O'Keefe asked me what the pros of subscribing are. My subscribers can help you. All right, Jake says you don't have Glenn's cell phone number. Joey doesn't even. Oh, Joey does have my cell phone number.
I'll put it in the chat.
If you put it in the chat, I will fight you, because this is what's going to happen. Okay, put my number in the chat if you want to.
I ain't worried about all that.
You should be worried about all of that. All right, folks. So here we go for the last time of the year. Let's get your stocks. Let's go analyze some of your stocks. Joey, read them off to me. ENTG.
NMCI.
NMCI.
That's it. They don't want any.
They don't want no stocks today? CWST? Okay, go ahead.
FFHL.
FAFFHL. You need to speak English.
PEIX.
PEIX.
FDX.
FedEx. UPS.
CRON.
Cron. Weed stock. CRSR. Corsair.
Baba.
Alibaba.
Where you looked at GRWG, didn't we?
No. PYPL. GRWG.
DHI.
DI Horton.
REGI.
Regeneron. Renewable.
SIX.
SIX.
UPWK.
UPWK.
TSCO.
Tractor Supply. Is that Karen? Nope, that was Devendra. Karen's in here, though.
Couple more.
Okay.
Try to find somebody new. Did we already do GNRC?
No, Generac, GNRC.
PLA.
Piece what?
PLA.
PLA. Okay.
And let's do.
PLA cannot be found.
Let's do GV.
GV, and that's it. All right. If you want to make easy money and are willing to pay attention, balancing risk and reward, can't beat VectorVest subscription with a stick. Just listen to Glenn. Wow. That makes me feel happy. I'm so happy because I'm happy. Okay. Let's go to the 3-month graph. Let's peep these stocks out. ENTG, trading a little bit of a channel right now with a support level of 90.60 and a resistance level of 112. Stocks in the channel. I like the graph over the last 3 months. Why do I look at a 3-month graph? I look at a 3-month graph because what happens every 3 months on the stock? Earnings. I want to make sure earnings is in the picture. Earnings is the biggest engine that drives the stock's price higher. So I always want to look at the earnings picture. So stock over the last 3 months, bottom left, top right, moving up, like it. Right now, personally, if I own it, leave it alone. I would leave it alone. I've got a 20-day exponential moving average. If the stock's price doesn't fall below it on an end-of-day basis like here, this would have been a good opportunity to get out of the stock and then get back in and ride it. You still be riding it right now, even on that big down day. It's still closed above the 20-day. If I'm not in it, I'd like to go 12 cents higher than the high. But be careful if the market's looking for a top. Be careful on any of these trades right now, unless you're in them, trying to hold them long term. All right. Next stock, love NMCI. That is a beautiful looking equity curve. Transportation ship is a tough industry to be in, but NMCI, Navios has done a great job over the last 3 months. Nice, slow, steady move. Not a bunch of volatility. I like this stock. Huh? That's a beautiful looking graph. And look at that. It's a lower dollar stock. That may not be a bad play. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Whoever gave me that, that's a hell of a stock. Huh? Leonardo, that is a hell of a stock right there. That is a really good stock. I like that. Let's go to the next one. Wow, CWST's got a little bit more volatility over the last 3 months. Up and down, a little bit of a sideways move. Be careful with it. I'd really like to see the stock take out that high. Notice that it broke above that level of resistance, sitting at a value of 61.59, and then pulled back down, got back out. Look where the wick is, right at that level again. This is a good level of resistance. Be careful with that. Excuse me, a little bit of a sideways move overall. FFHL, also like this stock. Bottom left, top right, bars getting bigger. I'd like to see the volume rise more with the stock's move. You'll hear me say that volume is conviction. I'd like to see a rising stock with rising volume. Big up day today, a little bit of a wick at the top, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Relative timing is dead peg at 2. This stock is moving. I like the equity curve. Before I jump on it, though, let the stock take out the high if I'm not already in it. If I'm already in it, leave the stock alone. Don't touch it. To be like MC Hammer, you can't touch this. All right, let's go to the next one. Wow, PEIX. In the beginning part of the 3 months, it looked great. Man, and now sitting in a channel, having a hard time getting out of its own way. RT tells me that the stock is in a downtrend. Oh, man, I'm not feeling it, and I'm a big fan of Energy Clean. There's probably other stocks to be in besides PEIX. I'd probably look at Enphase, or I'd look at Jinko Solar, or there's a lot of other stocks within this space for me to look at. PEIX is not quite where I want it to be just right now. All right, let's go to the next stock. FedEx, you'd think FedEx would pick up. FedEx and UPS probably will pick up as we get closer and closer to Christmas. Well, closer and closer. We're almost here. Next week is Christmas, right? So I figured that FedEx and UPS would have picked up more. You know what I think is taking away from FedEx? All right, what company, let's do it. What company do you think is taking away from FedEx and UPS? Anybody? I know I got about a 10-second delay. NMCI looks good until look closer. Can't buy today since down day and too many untraded spots along upward path. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Yep. So what company do you think is hurting UPS and FedEx? And Amazon, I think, is it. I think it is. Amazon's got its own trucks. I think Amazon is hurting it. And that's just, more online buying, but they got their own trucks. They can get it quicker or in the same amount of time as FedEx and UPS. All right, absolutely. You would think that normally around this time it starts taking off, but I think Amazon is biting into that business. UPS is faring a little better, but still also in a bigger channel. Big update today. If I'm not in it, I definitely like to see us break above that level of the high. Cron in the healthcare marijuana. We did look at a couple of stocks. And how about the stocks that we did look at are exhibiting the same characteristics? Cron, Tilray, ACB, Aurora, Alfria, a lot of them are pulling back. The whole industry is doing that. I think, though, if we get to the point of decriminalization, marijuana stocks will pop. That's still talk. Let the trade come to you. Let the trade come to you. But right now, Cron is pulling back off of that high as well, skirting around with that level of 20-day exponential moving average. CRSR, Corsair Gaming, we got into this stock in our jockey club, bounced off a level of support, sitting at $32.97, clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average, moving up. If you jump into this stock now, I give you a profit target sitting at the high of 51.37. That's a good opportunity to make some money right there. That's a good opportunity to make some money right there. But make sure you buy it higher than today's high before you jump on board and ride that puppy up if it keeps running. That's a good level of profit target. Next one, Alibaba. This is the Chinese version of Amazon. Woo! Amazon looks better than this. Look at that trend from the high, definitely in a downtrend. Bouncing off a level of support, though. Sitting right here of 252.43, but even with that, still in the channel. I'm not feeling Alibaba right now. It looked good earlier in the 3-month period, but right now the stock is having a hard time getting out of its own way, and it's trending down. Be careful with that. PayPal, this is part of that Riot or Mara or Bitcoin. It is moving higher, broke through a level of former resistance at 205.79, moving up higher, a little bit of a wick at the top of today's candle, a little bit of give back, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is moving higher, the stock's in an uptrend. Looks like a new high over the 3 months. If I'm not in it, I'd go higher than the high. If I am in it, I would probably use the level of the 20-day exponential moving average or that level of support as a way to get out of these stocks. There's a difference between decriminalization and legalization. Well, if you decriminalize it, then people get an opportunity. They may not be able to smoke it leisurely, but they'll be able to smoke it for medicinal purposes. And I never said about legalizing it. I did call it decriminalization. There is a difference, Russell. Absolutely. There is a difference. All right, let's go to the next slide. GRWG. This is one of the leaders in that space of marijuana stocks. Grow Generation definitely moving up. Today is a down day, but clearly still above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT nicely above the value of 1. I like it. This is, again, a leader in that space along with IIPR. It's another good stock in that space. Ooh, D.H. Horton. Somebody said it's a good stock. The builders were on fire a while ago. I think that it's pulled back a little bit. I'm not fully on board with it's okay now, put on a 6-month graph. Look at that. Even on the 6-month graph, a defined channel sitting here with a level of resistance at 73.98 and a level of support at 66.32. I'm not feeling it right now. This stock has got to get out of its own way before I'm ready to pull the trigger on it. All right. I do like, I sort of did like higher lows, but that was a bigger low there. Be careful with DHI. Make sure that the builders are rocking and rolling before you pull the trigger. All right. REGI, clean energy. Here's another stock in the clean energy space that looks halfway good. It's been a hot industry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In a channel, broke out of the channel, hitting a new high over the last now 6 months. Watch the volume. Normally, look at that. When I see a stock rising, I want to see rising volume. Not when a stock is rising, see falling volume. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Lennar did well on earnings, says Mike. So I would still keep my eyes on builders or just look for the right builders. Six Flags. Is Six Flags opening up? Our Six Flags when I was in New York was in New Jersey. Is Six Flags opening back up? It's too cold for Six Flags. Six Flags ain't open. We got our version of Six Flags in Charlotte. I forget the name of the place now. Anyway, I know it's closed for the year. It definitely is closed. I'm not going to pick up any new stocks, Josh. Joey gave me all the stocks I'm going to pay attention to today, my friend. But if for whatever reason you still want to look at stocks that we have not analyzed, if you go to www.vectorvest.com/stock analysis, you can get a free analysis on any stock that you want. All right, so Upwork, I like that, hitting a new high, broke through resistance, came back, tested as a level of support, sitting at that value of 36.92. New high today, little bit of give back. RT is nicely high, volume, is just sitting chilling out, but the equity curve looks good. I would definitely wait to buy higher than the high before I did. But it is testing this level of 36.92 as a current level of support right now. Just keep your eyes on that. Tractor Supply, a beautiful stock in the Jockey Club. We like that stock. Beautiful. Look at that equity curve back there. But since then, it's pulled back, went back up, pulled back. Watch it right now. I'd like to see it coming off of this level of a base. I'd like to see the stock start to move back up. And it probably will. But that's a good level of support. Bounced. I would buy higher than the high. You know something? This would be a good level to buy as long as it's above that level of, above the level. Where am I looking for? That's not what I'm looking for. Stop doing that. As long as it's above the level of 145.08, which it is, that's a good level. And then, that would be my level of getting out. That would be my profit target sitting at 157.07. 157.07. All right. Wow. Generac, awesome stock in that same space with Enphase, electrical equipment. Right now it's sitting in a channel between a level of support of 202.29 and a level of resistance at 234.55. I'd wait to see if you can get out of the channel. If you're already in it, though, leave it alone. That would be your line in the sand at 202.29. All right, and the last stock, GV. Yeah, why did you give me that? This stock got bought. It stopped trading.
Yeah, because I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, this stock got bought. So whoever owns it now, the stock's no longer trading. All right, Michael, nope, I'm not looking at any new stocks. I put these stocks in. Joey gave me the stocks to look at for today. All right, man, that was about an hour and a half, Joey, so I don't want to hear your mouth. It wasn't way too long. I give these guys what they come here for. They come here to get good information. Does anybody ever feel like they get shortchanged being here?
Nobody's getting shortchanged, that's for sure.
That's right. Nobody's getting shortchanged with being here. I give what they need to know. All right. I give the rest of the story. All right. Especially when it comes down to things like cryptocurrency, folks, and gold and oil. I want you guys to make better decisions. That's what I want. I want you to know what you need to know. All right. Let all these people on YouTube tell you whatever they want, but this is where you come to get what you need to know. This is where you come to get what you need to know. All right. This is what you come to get what you need to know. All right? So I want to say thank you guys for supporting the channel. All right? I always say share this on your social media. Share this on your social media. All right, with that being said, this is going to be our last live stream until next year. All right? I personally want to say Merry Christmas. Yes, I said it. Merry Christmas to every one of you folks out there. That comes from Joey, too. Say Merry Christmas, Joe. Joey says Happy Holidays. Fine. All right. Thank you so much for supporting the channel this year. We've grown a lot. And I look forward to us doing that again going into the next year. All you got to do is continue to do what you can to get other people to come here. All right. If you like what you see here, subscribe to our channel. If you like the content that we've been giving out, hit the like button. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I do the best that I can to answer as many of the questions in here as I can. I love you guys for real because this is what I do, and you make it easy for me. All right? You really, really do. So Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will see you after the New Year. Again, follow me on my social media. I will continue to put updates on stuff that's going on in the market on social media. Don't forget that this is a podcast as well. Big thing, do not forget about the Tampa 2-Day. www.vectorvest.com/Tampa. Register for the Tampa 2-Day. It is a 2-day online seminar. You don't want to miss it. You'll find out about new things that are going on within the VectorVest software. And if you are a subscriber, it's a great way to learn more about how to effectively use the software. Going to talk to our high school to allow kids to watch this for math class. That is awesome, Sandy. I love that. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing with Professor Profit right now, one bar. Joey doesn't like it. So there you go. Why only 128 likes? I don't know. Listen, you guys like it as much as you want. I appreciate you guys being here. All right. With that, how much did you make today in what? In our jockey club? We made some money today. We were up about 1% in our day trading portfolio, our swing trade portfolio. We were up just a little less than that. Why are you leaving us to next year? Because next week, Thursday, is Christmas Eve. We're off. Or it's a shortened day, but we're not going to do Trending Thursday. And then the week after that is New Year's Eve. And we're not doing a jockey club, a Trending Thursday then as well. All right. So with that, I'm done. You don't need any professor gimmicks. You are enough, says, wow, Joey? Wow.
You've tried to wrap up like 5 times.
What did we... Fine. Joey says I got to go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Peace. We're out of here.